catchphrases and sound bites. And we are filled with them because we are not thinking on a Quranic base. What I mean, we're not looking into what we're saying. So as I said earlier, we said man means mind. And that's good. Yeah. And what happens is we feed it on to each other. So the speaker's up there, he gives you a cliche, and you heard before, you heard Imam Muhammad say it, and neither one of you have really thought about why he said, that's right! You may not say that's right, but that's how you're feeling. And therefore we are not moving. We are stuck on the cliche. We're stuck on the catchphrase. We're stuck on the soundbite, and not on what the words actually entail. So the word for movement is harak. Harak. And harak comes from the word harakat, meaning to move. So harak actually we could do this from English also, but we don't think about English like that, And we say, well, I heard people say, I can't learn English. I can't learn Arabic. And you don't know English. That's what that means. You can. So what does that mean? You just handicapped yourself. Don't say Allah says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah puts not a burden on any soul beyond its scope, but that it can't handle. So He would not tell us, and it's in the Quran more than one time, but I just give you this one that I know exactly where it is, and that's the 12th chapter and the 2nd verse, the surah called Yusuf. And then that also reconnect to my next comment. And that's when it's the 2nd verse, he says, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. And even the translation there, as we're showing you here, would make you have to go and start thinking. Because they just say that you may learn wisdom. Or that you may get understanding. And we say, well, the Quran is like it in Arabic, so I can get understanding. How are you going to get the understanding? Because we don't think about one day, and we do understand, but we have not examined the process. We do understand. I'm not belittling it. We do it because Allah has given us, each one of us, that from birth. But we don't understand what the process is. But when you start studying the Arabic, then the Arabic word for understanding will help you to understand what understanding is. As we said earlier, understanding is taking new knowledge that you do not understand and connecting it with that which you do understand so that it all makes sense to you. Just like we talked about, that's how we finally figured out what our names were when we were babies. Because they would say it and they would look at us. They would say it and you were able to make a connection. When you said, hey, look at me, that must be me. You see, and that's how we learned whatever name they gave us, whether they called us by our name that our mother actually named, or whether they called us by a nickname. Whatever it was, that's how we learned to recognize who we are. So, excuse me. We want to stop encouraging each other in Mustarafuna. That's how that ayah, I'm trying to remember exactly what the verse is, where it says that Allah says in the Quran that we gave the rule both east and west to the people who were, the translation said, who were weak. Mustarafuna. We're going to close out with that word, mustarafuna, all right? So that we can see how we contribute to our own weakness and not giving any thought to it. Mustarafuna is translated as weak. It really means weak. I think it may even say weak in no account. I think it's what it says, weak in no account. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, like an
I want to ask you a question. Is there a simple way to find the root word?
Yes, sir, because I'm going to do it on this word. Thank you. I'm going to be working on that. It's going to fit right into what I'm getting ready to do now, because in order to deal with this word, mustarafu, and we have to do it. So it's not real simple, but once you start doing it, it becomes very simple. When I say that, some words have more than one prefix. more than one suffix, and sometimes even two infixes. An infix would be between, let me explain to you what I mean by, let me write the word up here first. But your question, I was going to it anyway, but I'll make sure that I give good emphasis on it, all right? Let's take the word mustadafun now. Mustadafun. All right? Let's use the read. Okay. Put the dots on it first. And I'm going to use red for the vowels, and then hopefully we can see that also at the same time. Now, brother, that's a very important question. So we're going to put the vowels on. Mus, Tod, I, Ooh. Nah, all right. That's the word that's translated for weak and no account. I'm just going to use black for the sukoon. All right. In order to understand that word, we have to first eliminate. And when I say eliminate, I mean pull it off. Pull off the prefixes, infixes, and suffixes. What do we mean by prefixes? We mean that which is fixed to a word before you get to the root word, all right? That's a prefix. It's fixed to the word before you get to the root letter. An infix is that which is fixed between the first and second root letter or the second and third root letter. Either one of those are infixes. And then the suffix is that which is added to the end of the word after the last root letter. Okay, so in order to find the root letter word, that's what you how you find it. That's when you pull out that which. Now, so there are certain syllables that immediately suggest that they are prefixes. All right, there are certain syllables that immediately suggest that they are infixes and suffixes. Then move. Right away, you should think of the suffix mu as being, the prefix mu as being a prefix. Why? Because you are Muslim. And this is the same prefix here, mus. Well, actually, it's not the exact same. In the word Muslim, it's only mu. This time, it's mus, because this is two prefixes here. This is one mu, and this is another. See, and this is another. You got three prefixes, all right? Let's break them apart so that you can see what's what. The mu is a person. Always a person. Mu. Always a person, all right? Very important. I'm going to substantiate that in something that you've not been told is a person in just a minute. So just like mu is a person in Muslim, mu is a person here. This is not the same as in Muslim. In Muslim, this is actually the first letter of the root word. Here is a prefix. It's a contraction. Now, this word makes it kind of complicated sometimes because, for instance, the scene is not the same all the time. In this case, it is a prefix. And it's a contraction of the word salfa. All right? Salfa means future. It comes from the word sawata. And sawata means to put off. That's how if you put something off, what is it? It's in the future, right? So ultimately this word is coming from the word sawata, which means to put off. You don't find the word salfa in the Quran much. It is there. But most of the time you just have the contraction with a sukoon. And sometimes maybe sa. But this time it's sukoon. All right? So this means it's a person, and since it's dealing with future, that means that whatever he's doing, it ain't done yet, right? So whenever you see a word prefix like this, it means it's an imperfect. A good time to explain that to you. Perfect and imperfect. They talk about actions, perfect and imperfect. Doesn't mean that it's perfect in the sense that it's most ideal. It simply means if it's perfect, it means it's done, it's over with. You can't change it already. And this means that it's either to happen in the future or it is in the process of happening. So this is a person who is in the process of doing whatever this is over here. The ta is, it means you, but it also means that it's reflexive. What I mean by reflexive, if you look in the mirror, who do you see? Yourself, right? You don't see a reflection of me. You see yourself, right? So that's what this ta means, that whatever this action is over here, whatever it is coming back to the jewel of it, all right? And then this word, da, and this last part over here, the suffix is the pluralization of it. It means they, or they do. So your root here, you don't have any infix in this word. If it had an infix, it had to come between this and this, here or here. Like it would be da-ifu. So so infixes, and by the way, infixes are usually long vowels. That's what infixes usually are, long vowels. Mostly this and this, the a and the e. Okay, but you'll have to. It'll take time, but if you keep doing it, you'll pick it up, and pretty soon it will seem very simple. I can tell you here it's simple. It's not simple when you just begin to look at it. But once you start looking at it, start looking for that, guess who's going to show it to you? Wallahu, yes sir. Allah. Allah is teaching. That's what I want to say. Allah is teaching. Yes sir.
Yeah, that tie, I can't understand. You got T-E-L-Z-X-I-V-E. What that means?
No, that's R-E. That should be R-E-F. R-E-F. Thank you. I don't have it spelled correctly, but that's not a T. That's R-E-F. Okay. R-E-F-L-E-X-I-V-E. Thank you. Reflexive. Means it's coming back to you. Reflexive. Thank you. R-E-F-L-X. So the action in this word is coming back to the person who's doing it. And he's not through doing it. This is what the Salva tells us. He's not through doing it. He's in the process of doing it. So what is da-ifu or da-ifa? That's the root word. That's how we got to over here, this is the pluralization. Una. So the root letters, and then I'm going to tell you something else about it too, because if you're doing a lot of studying, even this is going to leave you short quite a bit. But this is a start, okay? Da-ifa. Da-I-fa. Here's the root word here. It means to be weak. To be weak. Now, who's weak? Well, it's telling you, the translation tells you that these people are weak. Well, don't you know Allah is not going to give the rule to people who are weak and still weak, because all they do is give it up all over again. Yeah. We have to, so we don't have this understanding about we've been sitting back waiting for something. This is for people who are making themselves weak. The time, they're making themselves weak. They're doing it to themselves. Persons who are in the process of making themselves weak. All right. And then, of course, this over here is, as I say, the una is the plural. All right. Now, here's the problem with that. And I give anybody my number. As a matter of fact, I'll give it to you out loud. I ain't hiding. My number is 870-589-3589. 870-589-3589. I'll do better than that. I'll write it on the board. All right?
Get no sleep now.
That's all right. It'll be for Allah's sake. Don't you know that's what I live for? One time I thought I was going to leave this earth without being able to share this. And it was bothering me. Because the way Allah blessed me with it is more than a notion. Allah blessed me with a situation where I did not go to any school for this. I did not have any private tutor. Allah taught me. And He gave me plenty of time. 20 years in the first set.